Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spring Championships for the round of 16, day number 2. This is Saturday. Of course, we were live most of yesterday, which was Sunday. Wait, I got the dates the wrong way around. But yeah, so just reverse what I said, and that shall make sense. But indeed, this is our first match, Kalapuikko versus Diarouga. And I apologize to the players for my pronunciation of their names yet again. Absolutely. Saving recorded game. So, let's start with Kalapuikko in the south of the map. In the colour blue on this map, Kamchatka. Playing as the Germans, starting with 2 wood crates. Absolutely going to grab himself a trading post with that, or perhaps a market if he prefers, but most likely a trading post is going to be very useful for what Germany usually likes to do in the Fortress Age. But Kalapuikko, this guy knocked Musket Jr. out of the tournament in the previous round, in the round of 64, which was not expected by very many people at all. Musket Jr. was one of the favourites to go very far in this tournament. Personally, someone I've known for a very long time, a very good player indeed. Kalapuikko, show us what you're made of, absolutely. But yes, in the north of the map, in the colour red, we do indeed have the Indians, Diarouga. Again, going to be starting with more wood than normal, so perhaps an aggressive build is on the cards. You could go for that, but judging by the fact that he is actually gathering wood, possibly not. Oh wait, hold on, has he laid down a house?
No, he hasn't yet.
Oh, what do you think, Vinny?
Well, this looks like for me it's just going to be a standard build, no hard rush, I think, so
yeah,
far.
I'd expect that.
Because he's going for, well, we have to see, just 4 villages on wood, so maybe he's looking for some kind of treasure, but hard to say for now. But the German guy has put down a trading post already, so that's also very standard. And for sure, I think, well, for sure, the German guy can't do that much. He has kind of 2 options. If the Indian guy is gonna rush, he has to defend with probably some expos and an expo shipment. Otherwise, his best bet is to go for some semi-fast fortress and play it out from there.
Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned that Kalapuikko won versus Musket Jr. Was that? Have you seen that match actually? Was it?
I did. It was. I think Musket Jr. was getting rather frustrated and actually got a little bit angry with the game. I think you could see from the way he was playing, making very rash decisions. And
I see.
Yeah, Musket Jr. though, it was still there. He played very well, Kalapuikko. I'm going to continue to say it that way.
Okay, that's good then. Then looking forward to see what he's gonna bring up
Absolutely. I want to see how far this guy goes. Absolutely.
Left side here we have 50 wood for the Indian player. And meanwhile, let's count the goats for 4 sheep for the Indian player. Sorry, 4 goats for the Indian player, and 0 yet for the blue player.
Not too good.
Of course, the Indian guy has 2 scouting heroes, so he will be able to gather more of these goats if he does it correctly.
Yeah.
And we looks like blue has found his first goat in the center of the map.
At least he's got one there. Picking himself up the 40 XP there. Not a very big treasure, but still going to be useful somewhat. I mean...
Yeah, for German it can actually be decently useful, because he of course gets his settler wagons just a tiny bit faster, and as you know, 2 settler wagons is a very strong shipment. So the faster you get it, the better it is. Yep,
you can say that. That's a very, very strong shipment. Oh, 80 food though for the Indian plate. There it is, 2 settler wagons arriving just now. You know, 4 villages worth of... Like, I theorized the reason that shipment is so good is because obviously that's what you're going to send, and you don't get a Yulan in Age 1, so they compensate for that by giving you extra villages perhaps. That was always my sort of theory. But 80 food for the Indian player, can age up a bit faster, has all of the goats for the extra XP. This is looking pretty good for India so far.
Yeah, he got it quite good, and he also scouted a lot of the map. The 80 food also helps out for the aging, of course. And I was just thinking, when you said that about 2 settler wagons, imagine if you get 1 Ulan in the first age with 2 settler wagons.
It would probably be a bit too strong.
Yeah, I guess so. No Agbar fort at all going up.
Yeah, and you could just deny anyone from putting down a forward barracks or anything, like, no forward. Yeah, this certainly wouldn't be happening, but forward Agbar fort coming down, looking for the map control there. Not an aggressive placement, well, not aggressive in terms of 10-10 style aggression, but still definitely quite far forward.
Yeah, and he's still gathering a lot of wood, so it's not like the standard 10-10 as it looks like. And by the way, there's one goat, I always mess it up, on the right side, which still hasn't been picked up by anyone, and I believe that both of them kind of passed that way, so that's
interesting. Perhaps they have line of sight to it, maybe.
Yeah,
perhaps go back to it. There is that.
There's a nice healing going on from the elephants here in the center. Ooh, he has to be very quickly, because otherwise...
That 40 XP trade, yeah, he's not going to let that slip away. Perhaps he saw the guy walking past, saw that blue star on the minimap, was like, whoa, no, I want my 40 XP.
But it's always very hard to deal with those two elephants, because as soon as they age up, they have, I believe, 375 HP each, and that means that it's a very big meat shield with 0.2 range resistance. So it's always something you look to kill off right away, for example with some raiding Ulans if you can, because when there's a fight you don't want to have the elephants in the way at all.
No, you don't want that. Those things during the middle of a fight, if you put them out on the front, as you said yesterday in several games, if they're on the front, they'll tank up, they'll sponge up all of the shots, whilst all your high damage DPS units that have low HP can be on the back, not taking damage. And these, the elephant's very useful in the fight, definitely.
Yeah, so it looks like 100 XP treasure picked up by Diarouga, so he now has 80 XP. German guy has found 40 XP. And the German guy, of course, made a market, and let me check the upgrades here since we have this nice UI. Thanks again to Azemk for making this UI.
Absolutely.
We see that India is going quite heavy on upgrades as well. All the first tier upgrades are almost in. And Kalapuikko has done placer mines and hunting dogs, just those two.
Getting hunted dogs now, has collected the resources for, well, perhaps not, I'm not actually sure, but I'm fairly certain he's collected the resources for steel traps as well. Definitely going to want that. But India, oh sorry, Germany, let's start with him. Now up to the colonial age, and as we can see, very indicative of that fortress age style play that we were talking about. Adding in a stable, going to make a couple of Yulans out of that, and, well, not just a couple, going to several Yulans out of that, and combine them with the 2 that he will get for free from his first home city shipment, which will be arriving any moment now. No doubt, most likely going to be that 3 settler wagon shipment. Absolutely insane for Germany. That's the equivalent of 6 villages. I've said it before, going to say it again, straight up, one of the strongest shipments in the game. These 2 and 3 settler wagon shipments give you such a strong early economy. There it is, 3 settler wagons coming out. Absolutely disgusting. This is going to give him a really nice timing pressure. But actually, India is sending 5 sepoy, choosing to be aggressive here.
Yeah, I think he just wants to go for an initial push, but the thing is that it isn't an all-out rush, which actually is okay, but he has no defense at home because the aggro fort is placed in the center. So the German guy can just hold out a little bit with just town center, Minutemen and probably the 8 crossbowmen later on, and then go for a raid, as you see on the right side, because there's no defense at all at the town center from Diarouga.
Yeah, absolutely. These Yulan just going to run in there, force every single one of these villages, well, the ones they're close to, into the town centre. Going to cause havoc, perhaps get some villager kills. Here he comes. Will he get anything? And you know, this is difficult for India because there's nothing there to protect it. Normally, he'd have sepoy at home, but choosing here to put them in his opponent's base. And actually, Germany responding quite nicely with the 8 crossbowmen. But can he get any settler kills? He's going to try with him, not actually managing to get any there, but certainly forcing him into the town centre.
Yeah, this is where you actually should put some villagers in the town centre.
Can he get it?
You got a villager there?
No, he
not
didn't.
A villager left.
Oh, that's just the one, I think. Oh, he caused the sentries, the 7x4 damage multiplier, Minutemen coming out.
But
what do we got back at home?
The Expos getting owned by camels here, and now he's having somebody there to block them, quite trying to micro as best as possible. Ooh, nice stop there from the elephant.
Yeah, that's brutal. The Sioux is really strong against, of course, crossbowmen with that 1.5 times damage multiplier. Though, calling his Minutemen, sent the 8 crossbowman shipment, has done a reasonable job of clearing up some of these. Well, not really, that's wrong, that's not true at all. This is a lot of that, this is kind of difficult.
There's a settler wagon overnight, that's very unfortunate. However, he's gonna come in again for another raid here, but there's just 2 Ulan left only.
Oh, he's lost all of those I was gonna call them Cossacks, the Yulan, he lost all of those. Oh no, that's not too good. Really going to struggle back at home now. Those Dolphin Southerners have popped out with the ×3 area damage. These things are good against anything they're doing damage to, of course. It's in the same way that perhaps Cuirassiers and Yulans are. High damage dealing. The only issue with them is they have to walk around a lot. But they didn't have to walk here. They just spawned next to units and started dealing damage. It's cleaned this up quite nicely. But Kalapuikko not going to be happy with the fact that he lost all of his Yulans and had to send 2 colonial age military shipments just to hold the pressure. His fortress age is going to be a lot weaker now.
Yeah, but the thing is though that Diarouga also was forced, or well, choose to send 5 sepoy and 4 camels. So both of them have 2 of these army shipments. So that actually is kind of equal, and I think German can decently stabilize. The Indian economy is quite okay. However, there will probably gonna be another timing push as soon as German is gonna try to age up. The thing is that he could have gotten a little bit better out of this engagement, I feel, because, for example, the market was very far on the outside. If he would have put it a little bit close towards his town center, he could have put in villages in his town center, and he...
Coming in for a raid, though. Going to take out the sentries there, quickly bring them down, though, losing an entire Yulan, obviously to town center and sentry there, not being able to kill too many villages, but go ahead, Benny, with the...
Yeah, sorry, just someone popped up a chat about the sound. But I was just about to say that if he targeted the elephants with the town center before, then his crossbowmen would deal much more damage to the sepoy. The problem was now that the crossbowmen were kind of getting killed by both elephants and camels because he hadn't dealt with them properly on time. So then the sepoy in the back also did much more damage than they otherwise would be able to.
Yeah, getting a better trade than they perhaps normally would. This is really interesting. Of course, like, Red in his base has a bunch of Yulan. Gonna take out another villager. Like, he's doing a good job here of killing some vills, though, despite losing so many Cossacks. But at the same time, Red in his base, they've both got units in each other's bases.
Yeah, do you actually know how many villagers were killed? I believe 2 at first and then a third right away, or?
So I'm not sure exactly how many. Wow, that I think I can find out, though, using one of the special statistics in this thing. Let me,
There's a secret statistic I don't know about?
Well, you can, if you press CFG, and then go to player resort, or units lost, and press show.
Okay, you do that for a second. I show up what else is on screen here, because we have another raid coming in. And it looks like he's not going to be able to kill that last villager. However, he's of course denying a lot of gathering time here from the Indian player, as you see over here. And that is of course very beneficial, because that especially buys him the time just to age up to the 3rd age. However, he's choosing to send 5 Ulan before 700 coin. I'm actually not sure if I like this. I think I would have preferred to just make some more Ulans, keep the raids going, and use 700 coin to get to the 3rd age. Because as soon as there's a big sepoy camel mess coming in, you're not going to be able to deal with that just with Ulans.
Turns out I couldn't work out how to get the thing up. I'm not sure actually of how that functions. It's a feature that's really clicky, and you lose a lot of the game by trying to get it to work. But never mind. Yeah, what's going on right now there?
Well, he is shipping 700 wood, so maybe he wants to build some crossbowmen and try to hold it a little bit longer in the 2nd age. I'm very curious to see what his plan is there. Yeah,
constant raiding though from this Kalapuikko. Very good at doing that.
Yeah, the problem though is that Diarouga shipped 300 export, but it's not showing. Did he buy hussars already, or?
He has shipped 300 export on my tab.
Yeah, on my tab as well, but it's not showing in the top.
Perhaps he spent it. Very interesting.
Oh yeah, of course he did the villager thing. Okay, so he spent his export on buying 3 villages. Oh, and there we have the hussars in the center. That's what I was waiting for. And that's actually quite a good army, because now he has sepoys, Zambarak, and 3 hussars. And just Ulan is not going to cut it to deal with this.
Wow, taking out even more villages with the Yulan there, but gonna lose, I think, these Yulan to, of course, the Zambaraks, which are gonna chase them down. 3 going down. I don't even know if this is even worth it. Of course, he's constantly replacing them, but
yeah, I think the last raid was not that effective, because indeed he lost a lot of Ulans. However, at home he is using the 700 wood to build a defensive tower in front of his town center. So I guess he must be thinking about using 700 coin to age up. Of course, he still has a trading post, so it won't be that long, but it will be very close, because there's quite a big timing window here for the Indian guy to push on to the German one.
Yep, and
he is gonna catch the hussars. That's actually
nice job there. Of course, catching. There's plenty of Yulan. Gonna take that out almost for free, though. Of course, he's not gonna be able to stay there too long because of the sepoy there that have turned up. I'm gonna close my window actually. Not sure if you heard the bird.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Spring is coming.
It's like a crow, just chirping. Go ahead.
We see that now Zambarak and Sepoy, both of course able to deal with Doppelsolder and Ulan, and that means that he really has to go in a very defensive spot here. He has no 700 coin yet, so he won't be aging anytime soon. So
no, and even if it does turn up, Benny, like, how is he going to collect it with all of these units in his base? This is not looking too good. Diarouga up by 7 villager population, has a very large army, 31 military pop. Though of course some of these are Zambaraks, which are perhaps not as strong. Well, no, they're pretty good for one population. So actually, yeah, 31 military pop versus 4. This is looking tough.
Yeah. He's rescuing some of his villages on the bottom side there. Sorry.
Sending them away, yeah.
And
just gathering food out in the middle of nowhere. Where is he going? Yeah, going to gather food, but very vulnerable over there. But what else can you do? Like, there's nowhere else to gather food.
He is aging up, so he managed to get the coin and the food together without using 700 coin.
Oh wow, okay, that's good. At least then he does have a shipment available.
Yes, so this is not over yet.
No, so he can pop out 8 skirms. Perhaps he can rabble something together. Oh, that one cheeky Yulan. Did you see that Yulan earlier? There was that one Yulan that just managed to get away from like 12 Zambaraks or something like that. Gonna take out the
one more villager, but dying in the process. But that's actually worth it. 2 villagers for 1 Ulan.
Oh, he's almost up. But is he gonna have enough pop to actually support a shipment? These houses going down quickly. He has to send it now. He's overpopped. He's overpopped.
Yeah, I think he sent it.
Oh, he's building houses back in the back over here.
Yeah,
but that skirm shipment likely to be delayed. Yeah, but replacing all of this infrastructure, he's had to collect this wood, which is therefore not food or coin, and for that reason, he's going to have for that exact reason, he's going to have less military units to deal with red.
Yeah, so that we see that the Indian guy is also making a trading post, but actually, what can German send here in this case? He needs his 8 skirmishers to deal with Sepoys and Zembarak, and that just means, in anticipation of that, Indian guy should just be making camels from now on, I feel, to kind of counter the 8 skirmisher shipment that is on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a very good choice indeed. There it is. The 8 skirms have arrived. Looks like he was able to queue that before the houses were killed. But this is going to clear up these Sepoys really nicely. Unfortunately, he loses one of the Yolans that he got for free. But here, just going to be able to kite all day long. And now Red really can't do anything. But until he adds in... Oh, here comes the Sours. 5 Sours coming in. And the 2 elephants going to snare him there. They're going to go down. That's not looking good.
He's trying to micro as best as possible. You see, he's targeting the Sepoy running back. But there you have 2 elephants and 4 or 5... Sours indeed, so that's not something you can deal with.
Desert Terror has arrived as well, gonna make these camels even scarier, and he has quite a quantity of them. Finds the last, obviously the barracks and the rest of the houses, and a significant amount of villages, of course, 2 settler wagons, and here 5 skirms popping out. Oh no, if he could get them away and hide them somewhere, and Kalapuikko resigns. That is the end of the first game. Though this, of course, is a best of 5. Plenty more in this series coming up. Kalapuikko, definitely a good player. Knocked Musket Jr. out, as I mentioned, who was a favourite to go fight quite far in the tournament. But Diarouga, no doubt, is very good, as shown by in this game.
Yeah, I think he played it quite well, switching to the camels, as I mentioned later on. Not going for the all-out rush, because you might lose to a German guy who properly defends, but going for like a forward base and some aggression in the second age. However, I do feel that the German guy did not go for the most optimal shipments. Of course, he got quite some good raids going there, but 5 Ulan is not the best shipment. And the thing is, if you send 5 Ulans, you will not send 700 coin, and thus you will age up very, very late. And that just means that you don't have anything. It was exactly the timing window that the Indian guy has. He pushed with Sepoy, Zembarak and some camels, and just 8 skirmish is not going to cut it. And if you age faster, the Indian guy wouldn't have such a big mass of units, and thus your 8 skirmishers are much more effective. And if you can then trade away decently, you still have the tech advantage. But in this case, you can't trade anyway any decent with just 8 skirmishers.
Pushed on top of him just as he hit up, which meant he'd spent so many resources on aging without any direct benefit. And obviously, if you're standing on top of your opponent, they can't get all of the tech. They can't get the composition together, tech advantage or not. You can't send a shipment containing anti-infantry and anti-cavalry at the same time. But that is the end of the game. Any concluding comments before I end my recording?
No, just had to summarize there. That's all.
All right, don't go anywhere, guys. More coming up in just a moment. Alright guys, we're going to go silent just for a second as we get this next game ready, and as I save my recording. I just want to record everything just in case things go wrong and we don't have copies of stuff, and it's just good practice, right? It doesn't hurt to do that.
Okay, sure.
New folder, round of 16, that's what we will name it. Sounds like a good name to me. What's his name? Kala vs. Rogue. I'll just call him Rogue. That'll do. Game 1.
Oh, Rogue, yes. Yeah, fix the names later. They're waiting for their...
Yeah. So the score is 1 in Diarouga's favour. Let's update the... do you have a scoreboard?
Oh, I do actually have a scoreboard somewhere. Starboard, what's it called again? Starboard, yes, got it.
We don't have the. I can send you the one I've got if you like.
I'll do this one for now. Kala.
It's just literally one image.
I like the names to be there as well, and I believe yours had no names.
No, it didn't.
Diarouga. Currently up 1-0.
Did you remember the comment about the sound of the in-game?
Yeah, I changed it a little bit. Ramek said so.
Should I run a straw poll to see if it's too loud or too quiet? Which is right.
Again. I think it's okay, but you can do that again, sure.
Yeah, it never hurts, does it? We'll do that then. And there were 21 votes to say I was just right, 8 to say I was too loud, and 5 to say I was just quiet. So I would say the average of that is that I'm just right. In-game sound. Too loud. Too quiet. Just right.
Oh, now Spadel is asking me to play my game. What's this?
Well, you can't. You've custom this.
That's what I'm saying to him.
So I'll drop this into the Twitch chat. You'll have to scroll up quite a bit due to the 1 minute delay, but there we go.
I see, yes. Oh, well, they will still see the... Still haven't forgiven Venny for calling the Swedish Fusilier for... Is the Fusilier a French, a Swedish mercenary? But Fusilier sounds so French.
Apparently, I'm just going to say this again because it's funny, alright? Gurka means cucumber in Swedish.
Are you ready?
So when we're shouting about India sending his gurkhas in, I don't know, Swedish people are sitting there giggling. Probably. Oh, India's sending in his cucumbers. Those cucumbers, their ×2 damage multiplier, absolutely insane. Oh no, the cucumbers are getting absolutely wrecked by cuirassiers. This is not good. Hashtag cucumber. Kappa.
Okay, so Diarouga up 1 game. India versus German was the first one. So now we're gonna play on Hudson Bay, and it looks like it's gonna be Sioux versus French.
Wonderful. The Sioux vs the French. This is a funky one. This is a really... We'll save that discussion for when the match begins. Did you turn the graphics up, by the way? Just wondering.
I have it as I stream normally, and I think that's fine.
But the graphics are good. You need you got to make it look good. I don't know. I just like having the graphics up.
But are you sure it's not good then? I think it's good already. Have you seen it?
Are you ready?
I don't know, but I didn't look at the stream. But do you have like shadows and stuff? Like, does it look like an epic game? Or does it look like something made in 2001? Is what I'm saying.
I think it looks fine. Just ask the viewers.
Okay.
You can do one of your polls again.
Oh, no, we can't do another poll. Oh yeah, let's look
get
at
this
the...
going. Come on.
In-game sound is just right, by the way. Yep. Okay, let me start my rec. Oh, perhaps not. He's not greened up.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't like the matchup, so...
I wouldn't take that matchup.
Well, I think French can just... is actually fine, yeah, but...
Yeah, French is fine. That's the point. It's definitely fine. GL raiding Carreras. And then there's that weird timing pressure that France can do. But we'll talk about that in a bit. Hashtag cucumber kappa in the chat. Oh, that's funny. Absolutely. They both are going to be choosing civilizations here. I don't think Diarouga is very happy with the matchup, so he's not greened in. He's not clicked up just yet. But, yeah, the way this is, in previous events, we've had winner picks first. Oh, sorry, loser picks. Yeah, winner picks first, and then the loser gets to decide after that, and then they can perhaps engineer themselves some sort of matchup advantage. But here we don't have that rule because we feel as if we don't want games to be about you picking the civ that is perhaps has a slight advantage over another civ. We want this to be about be it matchups the players are happy with, and you know, because of that, it's down to skill a lot more and how the game plays out and the strategic choices you make in the games. But it's in the best interest of players, instead of like constantly counter-civing each other, they will pick matchups that they're happy to play because they know neither of them will green up until they've got a matchup that they want to play. So it's not going to be counter-civing unless you're Gaia and Bonang. And if it does come down to that, then we'll do a blind pick.
What did you say? We're not going to counter-civ unless you're Bonang?
Gaia and Bonang. You know how Gaia is a huge fan of mirrors.
It was both of them. It was not just Bonang.
Yeah.
Both of them changed.
No, I did say Gaia and Bonang.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we have a game here. French versus Sioux is going to be. So
well, he's still deciding. We're waiting for him to click in.
He said, let's French versus Sioux. So I assume...
Alright, well, there, he's greened up. Okay, let's begin the recording. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the round of 16. This is game number 2 between Kalapuikko and Diarouga, hopefully. Yep, for the Spring Championships, of course, this map is Hudson Bay, very similar to Saguenay. We won't talk about that too much because I'm sure almost everybody here has indeed seen the maps, but saving recorded game, absolutely. Let's start with our winner of the previous match in the east of the map, in the colour red. Playing is indeed the French, starting with 4 food crates, just the 1 wood crate, not going to be able to grab himself a market, or that's a fairly interesting start. Normally you get at least a wood and a coin, right? Only going to be able to get for a market here. There's no way he's going to be able to build a...
Yeah, indeed. Usually it's 2 wood crates or 1 wood, 1 coin.
That's an interesting start. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, I'm now thinking, like, does it have to do with the map variation?
Yeah, well, that's the only thing it would have to do with. The way Age of Empires 3 spawns your crate is you always have the same crates, and then you get a bonus crate, which is random. And that's how it works on most maps. And... some maps like Deccan spawn you absolute ton of crates, and some maps like Mongolia spawn you all of that, and in addition to that, an extra coin crate as well. But here, he's going to go with the market. He's going to have to collect a lot of wood, though.
Wow, by the way, Kalapuikko already found 150 coin.
Oh, that is a big one. He's playing as the Sioux, though. I don't know how useful that's going to be, because, of course, they don't have any military units that cost
yeah,
coin.
Do. The bow riders.
Oh, sorry, yes, they do. Of course they do. That's pretty good. I was thinking of Iroquois for a moment there.
Yeah, but look at this top side here, 80 foot also for Diarouga. And this is French versus Sioux, so actually I'm not sure why he doesn't want to click in, because I feel that if actually a little bit similar to what we talked about in the Spain game yesterday, ASM versus Soldier. It didn't turn out that way, but if the French guy is just gonna mass a lot of musketeers and then time it out right with 8 crossmen and then gonna push out, I think he's actually pretty fine versus Sioux.
Yeah. Do you think so? That's an interesting thing there's an interesting debate to be had. I'm going to quickly introduce the Sioux player. Obviously, we know he's playing Sioux. We've seen his Explorer, and we've mentioned that he grabbed a 150 coin treasure. But here he is. The formalities, of course, in the west of the map in the colour blue, playing as the Sioux with that distinctive playstyle where they make bow riders and then just raid you. I feel like France is a really good civ against that, because obviously you just have to hold out until that sort of 15, 16 minute mark, and then the economy of the Sioux player sort of just drops off because they don't have access to steel traps. Their villager shipments are often skipped over sort of aggressive shipments, and they only have 1 village shipment. And yeah, it's just you just have to last out. And France have villagers that have a lot of HP, more HP than normal, and a 40% ranged resist. So Bow Rider is going to be fairly ineffective against that. Like, that's one thing. What do you think of that?
Yeah, just quick mention here, he picks up 125 wood. Of course, the fast and good hero of the Sioux will always be able to take a lot of treasures around the map.
And a polar bear, look at that.
Yeah, that's also a very good convert. I mean, it's such a big meat shield, 250 HP and I believe 0.10 resistance or so from hand attack. But like you said, the French guy has a much better economy, so all he has to do is hold out and make sure that he pushes on time before the Sioux is gonna age up in an easy way. And also the French have such good villagers, ranged resistance and a lot of HP, which means that they are less vulnerable to raids compared to, for example, a British villager, or a standard villager, so to say. However, yeah, the economy of the French is always a lot better, but Sioux, of course, doesn't have to make any houses, so of course they need less resources in general. You always have to account for that as well. And we might see something like, for example, a trading post style play from the Sioux guy, just to make up a little bit for that economic disadvantage.
That's definitely something I'm seeing a lot of recently. I don't know if that's something that's been around for a long time, but recently I've seen a lot of people doing that. I don't know if the metagame shifted, but as the Sioux, if you have these trading posts, especially on a map like this, where they're all down the middle, they're very hard for your opponent to take out, because they do not want to leave their base. They don't want to take their musketeers or any of their units away, because they need to be in their base to defend against raids. So trading posts are really easy to hold as Sioux.
Yeah, that's a good point, specifically for Sioux, because you're so mobile on the map. The thing is that if you are so mobile on the map, you can indeed always press your opponent. So as soon as he pushes out with his musketeers, like you say, you can immediately go in and try to raid, which means he has to go back and defend, or he has to split up his army. But if he then is not careful, you might be able to catch his army with half his army with your whole army.
Yeah, and so then they won't have the cover of potential Minutemen or Town Center fire, so it's dangerous to not be at home.
Indeed. The Sioux did age up very fast, so we might see if he's going for some kind of X-Rider push with some Bow Rider.
Yeah. That'll be pretty funky. 4 Axe Riders is such a good shipment. You get 4 Cavalry for a Colonial Age shipment. All of those cav, yeah, it's mostly food. They cost 160 food and 40 gold, so it's not quite as good as 4 Hussars, but still insane. 4 cav, very strong, can give you a lot of early pressure. What do we see here? Yeah. Scout?
He's gonna lose his scout. That's very unfortunate. Of course, you always want to keep your scout alive as long as possible, just to make sure that you have stealth vision around.
Perhaps it was stealth, and the scout found it.
Yeah, that was the case, but he didn't respond, so now he lost it. But it looks like we have just 4 bow riders. It's funny, by the way, 4 bow riders finishes as soon as the French guy ages up.
Oh, he needs to get his barracks or something up fairly quickly.
4 X-Riders, by the way.
4 X-Riders coming out as we were talking about. This is going to be tough. He needs to get his military building down soon. There it is, right behind his town centre. Very defendable place.
Just building with 1 villager, though. That's actually a little bit too slow. I don't like
it. These bow riders, if he finds it... Oh, he might be able to get away with it. They're not going to go near it. But you can sometimes just deny them from putting down their military buildings as soon, because you get up so quick. You send those 4 Axe Riders, you get your first batch of 5 bow riders out, and you can just be such a pain, especially if they age up slowly like this French guy did.
Yeah, the Sioux is just looking to harass a little bit and kill a villager, perhaps. Yes, no, wait, did one die?
I don't think it did. There's very, like 5 HP collected on the big wood crate there. He can probably kill that if he just prods it.
Ah, yeah, well, he probably put it out the right way on the other side, but I think the Sioux guy didn't notice.
Do you not think standing on top of your opponent's town centre there and denying him from being able to collect the 700 wood is a good idea? Because he clearly wants to make houses and perhaps some crossbowmen out of that.
I think that's a very good point. In this case, it's probably worth it. Of course, you will lose some of your units, but if the other guy can't make any musketeers because he can't make any houses, you will, of course, have more time later on. And now he has 5 musketeers out, which means...
You're going to take it, though. I don't think this is necessarily wrong, because, of course, you've got so many units. Even though these counter you can take it. But the town centre fire plus the Minutemen, and if he wants to, he can pop his Carreras out. Doesn't do that, though, and loses the 5 musketeers. Probably a good trade for Sioux there. He's going to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. He lost his hero and 2 X-Riders, and I think he was starting to micro right on the start of that battle, but then he went with his X-Riders back into the musketeers who were in melee mode, so...
Yeah.
All in all, I mean, he traded away 2 X-Riders and his hero, which of course now is dead lying over there and can't degenerate in the next battle. Yeah, and that actually is very costly.
That thing speeds your units up a lot, so it means it gives you the extra mobility. That's the bonus of having that. Does take out the Carrera de Bois, though. Nice job there. And this isn't going to be, that Explorer not going to be soaking up any damage either. This is, I don't know, at this point though, actually, Kalapuikko doing a good job. They're even on Vil count, and Diarouga, the red guy, the French guy, has actually sent his 4 Carreras. Though having said that, Carreras are a lot stronger than regular settlers, so you know, certainly is always going to have less because they take longer to train and are more expensive. But still, looking okay.
Yeah, but so the French guy definitely is ahead in economy and also has his steel traps working for him, of course. However, he has to start herding this food here, as he's trying to do now, I think, on the left side, because he's soon running out of any close-by food. And that's also where it comes down to the fact that the Sioux guy lost both his hero and 2 or 3 X-Riders. He kind of loses a little bit of pressure with that, so... If the French guy is able to mass enough musketeers, he can still kind of post near this hunt here, over the left side. And otherwise, it's much easier for Sioux to keep poking in. But he might be going in from the back and trying to save his hero.
Yeah, might want to go pick that up when it's got 100 hit points. You can go in there and grab... Oh, 4 HP! What a... Oh my goodness, yeah. He does have the... Obviously going to get great coats here. You definitely want that and has that active.
We now see 8 crossbowmen being shipped as well.
We do, they've just arrived, yep.
And this is now an army that the Sioux guy can't really poke into anymore. Sioux did ship 700 coin, so let's see what his plan is. He's still making bow riders. Is
he still? But could possibly, could have used that coin to age up. 2 dog soldier shipment has arrived. Looks like maybe he's just using the 700 coin to just pump out the bow riders then, by the looks of it, if he wants to continue to send age 2 shipments like dog soldiers, wants to continue this in age 2, and just... try to break the French before they get too strong and before that sort of 15-16 minute mark where Sioux sort of drop off in the economy. That's a lot of bow riders.
Yeah, and he has a 4 more queued, so there's soon going to be 5 more joining this battle. However, I really feel that he has to somehow try to distract the French opponent and rescue his hero. Because this hero, which now has 300 HP and counting, is going to be so useful in a battle to tank the first shots of the musketeers.
Look how fast it gains HP, it's absolutely insane. Here coming in though, looks like he wants to take the fight there. Not too sure about this though. If he can take out those crossbowmen, he'll be okay. Those things have a times 1.3 damage mod, times 2 damage mod versus bow riders. Here, perhaps staying a bit too long.
Yeah, now he's using his attack move.
Oh,
ability.
and tilts the Explorer, another 100 free XP to red.
Yeah, so the dog soldiers were at first attacking the hero, which is a small mistake because of course the dog soldiers have bonus versus infantry. Also, he used attack move at some point, and then you saw on the right side this village near the market was tanking some of the shots while the bow riders were not shooting at musketeers. And he nicely saved his hero, but unfortunately he lost it right away again, and that's not just only 100 XP for the French guy, it also is no more hero and shield tanking damage for the Sioux guy.
Yeah, perhaps
it looks like he's going to bring his villagers and going for a...
This is what I was talking about, Benny. This is why I was surprised that you didn't like the French here. Because I said at the beginning, you know, it's hard for Sioux to break French. They have those villages with so many hit points, the massive range resist. But here has sent, obviously, the 3 Vil, 700 wood, 4 Carrera is going to power up his economy, followed by 8 crossbowmen to get the military out to stabilize, and then sends pioneers on top of this, giving his villagers 65% more hit points. Absolutely insane. These things have 360 hit points with 40% range resist. What he does here is just bring every single one of his villagers, except a few back home, which are going to maintain village production on food, over to his opponent's town center and just sit there, siege it down. Sioux can't do anything, because what's he going to do? Fight 300 HP villagers? He's just going to sit here and make Sioux perfectly, completely idle.
Yeah, the Sioux guy has to be spreading out his villages around the map to make sure that the French guy is idle as long as possible, but very smartly Diarouga here is going to gather some coin here. He's going to bring his villagers around with his army and gather whenever he can. Also, what the Sioux guy should have done is trying to cut off any reinforcements. There were like 8 musketeers joining up with his army. He missed the opportunity to kind of kill them all, kill most of them before they joined the army of Diarouga. And that's actually, as a Sioux player, you should be very active around the map. We saw also Boneng doing that, trying to pick off any loose villagers, any alone part of your army, and he's not doing that optimally. So now he's going to be running with his villagers, but not,
It's going to be tough. Gaia, when he did this, he played that matchup, he was running around with his Carreras, and of course, they got a lot of hit points, but if they're not, like, collecting, they're no good. They're not fighting, they're no good. They're just walking around, not doing anything. Here, though, fortunately for France, he gets to take this fight, but Sioux doesn't have to take it. He's very, very mobile with his bow riders. He can run around the map, trying to claim small advantages here and there by picking off units, but not doing that, actually going to take this fight, which I think French is really happy with.
Well, there are two main things to spot out here. First of all, the Sioux guy brought in his villagers to tank a little bit as well, and the French villagers were on the back. They should actually be in the front, I feel, to tank a little bit of the damage, while the musketeers in the back are dealing the damage.
Yeah, because
but like you say, the Sioux guy doesn't really, he shouldn't really commit to that fight at that point, because that's not the way he can win this game. On the other hand, the French guy is walking with more villagers than the Sioux guy, which means that he has less of his own economy like active. Sioux guy is still gathering resources over there. And he's now picking off, this is what he should do, slowly picking off units one by one, but trying to stay out of range from the musketeers.
Yep, and there's absolutely that. Now, for those of you wondering why all of these villagers are walking around the map, this must look very strange. Of course, if Sioux stayed in his base and put them in the town center, he'd definitely lose them all, because everything would be on top of that. Oh, 6 sea tambos do arrive, pretty nice, they're going to be useful. But all of the Sioux villagers would be in that town center, and all the French people would be on top of it, and there's just no way bow riders could. They don't want to take this fight, because the villagers are so strong. And then the town center dies, he loses all his villagers. So he has to walk them around, hide them as much as he can. And France, unfortunately, didn't manage to kill very many, and Sioux's gotten away with this, is able to walk them around, hasn't lost his villagers here. And now Sioux, the mobile Civ, is able to walk around, picking up his small advantage here and there, where he can. And obviously all these French villagers aren't working.
He's not want to take this fight at this point where he should be defending near his town center. And also in the last battle he didn't optimally micro versus the musketeers. So I really hope in the next battle that he's going to target the musketeers with all of his
here though, gonna take out that stable, not looking too good. The village is able to gather a few resources from that muskox that is on the floor there, but it has just depleted. These feel like I feel really bad. He needs to gather resources. This is a very all-in strat, but it's sort of working. Still has a lot of villager pop, 31 villagers against his opponent's 20, so in terms of economy, looking pretty good here. Gonna take another fight, gonna be pretty happy about this with the villagers there, putting them on the front. This time
they move to the front as they should. And now you see the bow riders who are not really targeted any musketeers, they just automatically target villagers because they are closer.
Yeah.
And thus all the musketeers deal so much damage in the back there.
Oh, that's so good. Obviously, when you attack move, every unit selects the unit closest to them and targets it. That's how attack move works. And if you put things on the front, like villages that have a lot of hit points because of the pioneers. 360 HP, 40% range resist. Like, bow riders can't kill that, and it means all your high DPS units are, you know, they've got tanks on the front sponging damage, and they get the high DPS ones get to stay alive. Absolutely.
Yeah, so now we see that the French guy is double the score of the Sioux guy, and this game is then always hard to say, but I think it's just over for Sioux. He has no chance, no stable, just not enough economy, and the French guy now also ships 700 food, so he's just gonna be remassing more musketeers even.
Yeah, and it's looking tough for Sioux. Of course, the French has still maintaining village production, I hope. It has 33 villages. Calculator hype in the chat. Going to bring up my calculator and work out exactly how many 33 is. 33 multiplied by 1.25 is equal to 41.25 villages. Sioux only has 21.
I also would have loved to see the Sioux picking off a little bit more as he's doing now. You see that he's coming in with his bow riders, but just not trying to be too much in range of all the musketeers. If he had done that earlier, without committing, like really committing to a battle, it would have been a completely different game.
You're absolutely right. When he had so many bow riders earlier, before he committed to that fight, he could have continued to run around like he's doing now, trying to pick off a few here and there when people aren't paying attention. If he had all of those bow riders back then and was doing it then, could have secured himself a bit like small advantages here and there and just pick off the French, whittle him down. But it looks pretty tough now.
The Townsend was, by the way, attacking villages and still is. I'm not sure if that's the best choice. Of course, the Townsend has bonus versus villagers. As you see, this villager now trying to run away, but he will die for sure. However, the musketeers are dealing much more damage, so...
They are, and obviously you don't want to lose your town centre. That thing is kind of important. You need to even up the military count, but... yeah, that villager though, I do like the fact he tried to run it away. Unfortunately doing it a little bit too late. More bow riders going down. Oh no. Definitely going to get this TC. More reinforcement musks coming. Only one bow rider left. That's the end of the game. Kalapuikko. Oh, a valiant effort. But the French timing is strong.
Yeah, and what we saw Bonang doing in that game versus Garia is that he just kept running around trying to pick off units left and right, but not really committing until he was sure that he had the better army. And of course idling Garia's army for a long time. And here we see actually that this kind of went in favor of the French player, because there was a fight happening pretty soon already on the... Oh, I can't flare anymore, but on the center top there. And also, the villager spread of the Sioux guy was not optimal. I mean, it's of course not easy. The French guy is going to look for your villages all around the map. But the French guy has to move his army in one ball of musketeers and villagers. Yep. So what you should just do is spread your villages around way more. And because he didn't do that, he already lost like 6 villages or something to the initial push. Yep. Which of course means like a few less bow riders over time. Yeah, and then the micro from Kalapuikko was not optimal because he was targeting villagers rather than musketeers, and also he could have probably pulled the low HP bow riders a little bit more to the back, so to make sure that they live longer. But good push by the French guy.
Yeah, and I was surprised that you didn't like France in this matchup, and that's exactly why. But then you did all of the points you listed absolutely valid. Those are the things the Sioux could do, and that mitigates the French power having to... Yeah, as you said, putting all the villages around the map. French can't go to every location. True.
I think you got confused there. I said I do like the French. So that
you do like it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think the French guy has the advantage in this matchup, I feel.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, there we have it. One more game, potentially. Can he get the 3-0 sweep? Of course, Kalapuikko has proven his worth, I feel, but in his previous games in this tournament. But we'll see what happens. Next game coming up right about now. Stay tuned.
Yeah, just bringing up the post game here for a sec. The early start was really quite good for the Sioux guy, but then I think he just stayed a little bit too long and tried to end it too fast with a dog soldier shipment, while he could have just waited a little bit more and make sure that he starves the French guy, because the French guy didn't really have much of these hunts close, and if he would have just gained from more... Actually, the French guy, I think the map was... Now that I think of it again, it looks like he's missing a herd or something, but I'm not sure. Anyway, the French guy didn't have much food around, and that means that the Sioux guy actually only has to make sure that the French guy is not able to gather resources around the map, rather than pushing into the town center, which is very risky.
I just want to point out to the chat that they say, oh, Interjection's so bad at math, he has to use a calculator. Alright guys, I do have to use a calculator, fine, but you try casting the game, keeping focused on what's going on, and doing math at the same time. I don't need to do math, I've got a calculator. That's why you don't study math in this day and age. Oh, shots fired. No, I don't really think that, but...
Are you ready?
Doing math is not about timesing things by 1.25. That's not exactly...
So guys, I brought up the scoreboard again. 2-0 now. Sorry, it was apparently alt-tapped or minimized in the last game, but it's 2-0 now for Diarouga versus Kalapuikko.
I think it might... I'm just looking at the recording that I did, and you are a bit louder than me. So maybe I don't know. Everyone thinks it's fine though, but I will do a straw poll nonetheless. I'm a huge fan of straw polls. Guys, so I'm just going to quickly shout out the this particular thread we have going here. There is a live, what's it called? A live report thread where you can talk about the game happening live on a forum. The, of course, official, well, not the official forum, our official forum, the community made. It's not an official forum at all, actually, but it's the one that tournament is being hosted on. You can, of course, use this. You're going to have to scroll up quite a long way for it because of the 1 minute delay. But, yeah, if you perhaps have a question, obviously, can you tell Venny to be fast, please, says Kalapuikko. Oh, yeah, you're here now. That's good. Just waiting for, yeah, just waiting for Kalapuikko to green up, and then I'll click in. But, yeah, if you've got a question about the games, or you just want to talk to people on a perhaps calmer environment, obviously, we've got the Twitch chat for that as well, but there's that forum, and there's also some really nice polls on there about who you think's going to win particular matchups.
Okay, let's go.
Yep, let's go. I'm going to load up my Camtasia. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, didn't quite get the recording there. Let me try that again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, the Spring Championships. 4 of the round of 16. This is game number 3 between Kalapuikko and Diarouga. My apologies yet again to the players for the pronunciation of their names. Absolutely. Here we have the map Siberia. This is, of course, well, I'm not going to say vanilla map because this is not a vanilla map in the sense of Age of Empires 3 vanilla. It is actually a vanilla map in the sense it is not a map made by Gaia. It's an official map, this one. Siberia, a very nice map. You start with the tower there, pretty nice there. Always leads into perhaps slightly longer games because you do have that extra protection, so to speak. But here we have Diarouga in the north of the map in the color red, playing as indeed the Germans there. Not too bad for the tower. This is a very nice thing. Germany likes to have a tower there because they usually go up to fortress, and that's something they like to do. But certainly, starting with the 100 wood, I think. Laying down a market. Looks like he wants to get that down. Yeah, has he found any treasures that perhaps help him get a scout, or is anything nearby? He does come across the 45 coin. That's certainly going to be useful. But in the south of the map, in the colour blue, we do indeed have the French doing a similar thing, adding in his market there. Of course, he'll have very similar crate spawns. That's the way the game works. Going to grab himself hunting dogs in this early portion. Going to pick himself up a 50 wood treasure. Both players finding fairly useful treasures in this early portion here, though. Vanny, what do you think?
Yeah, I do want to emphasize that what you just mentioned, the importance of this tower. This is like, actually, for the German guy, this is like the dream position that you wish to get... to start your game with. Yep. The tower is in front of the town center, which means that the town center in the back, which has more range, can do damage when any unit is attacking the tower. And the gold mine is very close, although in front, but every unit can just jump in the tower if they need to, and then they can still walk safely towards the town center because the distance is just so small.
Yep.
So this is very ideal for the German guy, which is of course very reliant on their gold gathering. And on the other hand, if you look at the right side on the French part of the map, the tower is not as close to the gold mine, and the mine is very far to the right, which is vulnerable to any Ulan raids and stuff like that, which will for sure come in.
That is a spawn and a half, but yeah, it's true.
It looks like this monkey is gonna be the Kiowa scout is gonna attack the monkey. However, there is also the hero of the Diarouga coming there.
Yep. He's going to come in here, shoot against that scout here. He's next to a 75 food treasure. Both players going to come across that, but the blue scout obviously quite far away from it. Oh, currently going for a 110 wood treasure. That's nice. He can do that with absolutely no problem because he knows his opponent is quite far away.
He manages to save his scout right away. I'm very happy that he did pay attention there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the French scout that can be put in stealth mode is just huge. That bonus is too many people lose their scout too easily, and it's just so important to keep your scout alive. But like you say, 110 wood is a very nice treasure. You can almost then, of course, fast to get his way around steel traps or a trading post. Let's see what he's gonna do with that.
All of those things, of course, if you get a market in the Discovery Age, you'll probably get a trading post in Transition, and that wood just helps you do that so much easier, along with, of course, the steel traps upgrade. Perhaps Placer Mines might even be able to squeeze that in if you didn't. If sometimes you don't want to get it depending on what goes on in the game. But that is a really good treasure, absolutely. This matchup, though, both civilizations, let's talk about them. Let's begin with the Germans. 2 settler wagons have arrived. That shipment that I love so much has arrived. Yeah, he's most like, and the 3 settler, the 3 Carreras are they're so efficient, these shipments. Of course, both equal to nearly 4 villages, and of course the red one exactly 4, blue one slightly less. But both players going to be powering up their economy, I would imagine, and then going up to the Fortress Age. Though France can play in the Colonial Age, they certainly do, and certainly that's a good thing to do against Germany. What do you think we're going to see, Benny?
Yeah, on this map with the defensive position, the big map, I assume they're both going for a semi-FF. Yeah. And play it out from there, which is still a very equal game. Interesting to see, though, is that the German also started with a market, and the German has even done research, even researched hunting dogs before the French player, which you don't see very often.
No, you don't. Yeah, France definitely a lot more able to get that than Germany. They start with more crates, I feel. Is that
actually
true? I feel like they do.
Good question. I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah. Either way, you don't usually. Germany usually struggle to get the hunting dogs, and then when they do get it, it usually comes down quite late. But both players now heading up to the next age, and as we can see, well, certainly Germany has switched a lot of his villages over to wood, has managed to grab that trading post during transition. France doing the exact same thing, and now gathering coin and, of course, food in a ratio that he will need to make a couple of Yulans, no doubt. Want to do some raiding with those extremely efficient, of course, raiding cavalry. They have high DPS, low hit points when they're dealing damage. They're very happy. Yep, but I've forgotten what I was going to say. There was a point I was leading into, but never mind. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, I'm sure. We have 2 trading posts, so you can just think about it for a second. 2 trading posts for both of them. That's also very standard here. Of course, the French guy had 110 wood earlier, but even without it, the trading post just gives you such a huge advantage, especially when you're going for a Fortress Age agenda. It just gives you a few more shipments, and very strong shipments, of course, in the 4th Age.
Yep.
Small little detail here from Diarouga, which actually is the kind of thing that differs the good players from the better players, so to say. He ships his 400 wood at his tower. It's a very small detail, like I said, but the fact is that his settler wagons were already gathering at the gold mine, so it means that they have to walk like a few seconds less.
Yeah, villager seconds,
at the town center.
Squeezing them out. Not only does it mean you save villager seconds because, of course, that those have to walk less far, you also get the stable up sooner because you'll have 200 wood in your inventory sooner. You get the Yulans out sooner, and speed always wins. That is a cheat in AOE3, by the way. Do you like how poetic that is? You get the Yulans out faster, they'll arrive in your opponent's base faster, and this is the French. Yes, they have high HP villages, but actually, I don't know if a bit of trivia for you here. That 40% range resist obviously is a range resist, doesn't resist any melee damage, and actually French villages are weaker to cavalry. They die faster to cavalry than regular villages. So, yeah, faster cav coming out. All of this just adds up and up.
Yeah, we see one raid coming in, but okay, the blue guy, whatever, he's responding right on time.
Right on
he's
time.
Not losing any villager. He chooses to not go for villager HP yet. If you're very spot on with your micro and such, it can be okay because you can age up a little bit faster and stuff like that.
However, can he catch those 2? I don't think he will. Oh no!
He's trying to. Yeah, he's splitting up.
Oh, he's splitting them off. Oh, what a dupe! Goes through the middle, but unfortunately doesn't pay off there. I thought like he was just going to go through the middle like a game of
on left
wow.
side, it looks like he is gonna lose one villager if he. Okay, a little bit of a misstep here.
Oh no, perhaps he's done it. Nice, maybe 2 actually.
Wow.
A misstep, but actually managing to get in front of the villagers and block them so the pathing was awkward. Taking out 2 vills, that's really nice.
That is actually really huge, and this also makes me wonder, like, if he had villager HP, I bet it would be only 1 villager for sure, but also, of course, his reaction wasn't infested, and this is actually the problem.
Turning around to get the scout, almost though got in range of the 5 hussars. Can he take it? Of course, hussars stronger than Yulan because they have more hit points. Nice micro, they're pulling that one off so they will walk around and aren't doing DPS. More Yulan arrive. Of course, the 2 from a shipment, and now the tides have turned. Now blue is on the run.
Blue should leave one of these hussars behind to make sure the rest can run away, but now he's losing like almost 3 hussars if you calculate the total HP, and that's actually...
and his Minutemen have come out. Like, what? Oh no, that's not good. He was probably trying to cancel that at the last moment, and oh no, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, that is... I don't agree with that decision indeed. Maybe he thought he was going to commit to a fight and that Diarouga was going to stay, but... Not knowing whatever was coming next to him, Diarouga of course moves back. So this is actually a complete waste of Minutemen.
That is
and
like
also delays your Fortress Age.
It's okay to send Minutemen and then like, oh, actually I don't need them, then cancel them. But unfortunately not being able to cancel them there, that's going to delay his age up because he's just spent 300 resources on food and coin.
Yeah, and during all this,
150
he forgot to forgot to gather his 700 coin because his 700 wood is even lying on the floor near his town center. So he's now very, very delayed, being busy with the micro, I guess.
Oh, Kalapuikko, this is, oh my goodness. Adding in a second trade, oh, it's so, oh, okay,
Yeah,
go
he
ahead.
has to make something happen. So a second trading post is actually a good choice. Hopefully he can buy himself enough time that the second trading post is gonna get into play for him. But the French guy has aged up already, which means that
You mean
I
the
think
German.
sorry, the German, yes. And I think he already sent a shipment. He's now popped, so he must have a shipment on the way. And then of course he's gonna push out right away. And the French guy is not even aging yet.
Yeah, and the pressure is going to arrive on top of him just as he's probably going to be aging up or getting there. It's going to be tough, actually. Of course, there are a lot of Yulan there. He's managed to stack them up, of course, trained a few, and you get a few every time you send a shipment, and get the veterancy upgrade on that. Germany has such a strong timing. Look at those cavalry, so many of them. He's going to have veterancy on them any moment now. You know, the 2 settler wagons, the 3 settler wagons you send in that early portion are so efficient that you can get lots of units out, and you get lots of free Yulan, which also just adds to the amount of units you're going to have in that early portion of the game. It makes Germany so strong at this point in the game. Of course, though, Germany don't have a cannon shipment, which France does, and that's the redeeming factor of France there, and can play an important patch in this matchup.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's ever going to be able to send it. Look at all these going to come in and absolutely rinse him.
He is again gonna
Ooh,
get
no.
not. He did.
Oh,
Oh,
it
wait,
was-
he's gonna get that villager there over there.
So gets that villager there, takes out all these Minutemen. You can see Blue's like, nope, I'm getting out of here, and he's totally going to run those away. Unfortunately,
There is,
taking... Go.
Is it not a nice thing there? He made a second stable. He did not have his scout anymore because it died in one of the earlier engagements. So he wasn't able to see that the German guy shipped 9 Ulan. But I think I like the 2 stables. Well, in a way, I think his economy is not able to support 2 stables at this point, so it doesn't matter right now.
No.
But he can, of course, make a lot of dragoons fast to counter this Ulan mass, and afterwards gonna ship skirmishes or maybe even cuirassier to deal with a possible 8 skirmisher shipment from a German guy.
Yeah. Cuirassiers plus Dragoons, certainly on the cards if he has 2 stables. That's for sure.
And what you see is that the red guy, the German guy, is very active with his hero. He brought it with his army to tank some damage, to deal some damage. He has it now in the middle to just be sure that he scouts anything coming to his Ulans before he has to respond with his Ulans. And the French guy, on the other hand, has his hero idle at the trading post. And I mentioned this a few times. It's not doing any scouting. It's not useful in battle. So I really would like to see him using it again.
Absolutely.
But we have... Yes.
Yeah.
Dragoons out now. 5 shipped, 5 made.
Yep, they're going to be good against the cavalry here, of course. Although gets caught, though, not too good. Not going to be happy about that. If the I feel like in this matchup, if you get that many Yulans out and you just get close, up and close, like you can trap them, you can surround them so hard that Dragoons don't even matter. They've got low hit points. That you just DPS them down. If the veteran Yulans get into combat with the Dragoons, that can anyway. But unfortunately, though, that does not happen. He does manage to keep his Dragoons here.
Yeah, I think he was afraid of what might be coming out from the French guy, and I think it's a wise decision to just back off. I mean, he has 8 skirmishes on the way, as you see now, and going into that, maybe losing all Ulans is probably not worth it. There's, of course, a town center and a tower there.
Yep, but what do you think of, perhaps, France sending his 1,000 coin shipment and then collecting nothing but food and using that to mass-produce Dragoons? Or perhaps
Yeah, that is an interesting option. The thing is, though, that 1k coin has to be shipped and then also has to be gathered, and that means that you will be...
it's very slow.
Yeah, it will take time before you can have these Dragoons out. And actually, he doesn't have much time now. He has to hold the next push from German.
Which is coming now. It's going to arrive hard and fast. Lots of course, that 8 skirm shipment and the efficient economy pumping out the units. And obviously you get free Alans. As I keep mentioning, very strong pressure coming out. Can France weather the storm?
This is nice. He got the first shots off, and that actually is very, very huge, because that means that the German kind of has to turn back. The German doesn't see everything that we see, because this is a battle that he would be able to take for sure.
Yeah.
But of course he does have complete line of sight. He doesn't know exactly what is in the back. And
At the same time, though, incoming raid. Here comes
the
that.
gold mine very nicely.
Lots of villagers on it, perhaps going to get some kills. Yes, these are settler wagons with 405 HP, but walks right past it. No doubt they'll hopefully go back. Yes, he saw it on the minimap. Going to correct that. Going to go in and do lots of damage here. And of course, Red does not have any units nearby. He's going to lose perhaps 2 settler wagons, maybe 3, before all of these Yulan can get back. And even like if he does capture those of course settler wagons, those 2 hussars. His red army is not in the French player's base. This is giving the French the time he needs to catch back up.
And he will kill 3 settler wagons. That is actually huge. It was a very late response by Diarouga, and also now he's sending his whole army back, and that's actually a mistake as well, because not only does it give the French a lot of time, it actually backfires twice, because you also have to run it back again if you want to push later.
Yeah.
But also the French could, for example, make something happen on the other side, maybe go deny some more map control on the left side, etc. He should have just sent like 5 Ulans back, and also he should have, for example, made a house somewhere over there to see any raids incoming and respond faster. Or
the teapot wall, as we've H2O fondly named the other day. Apparently a guy called Teapot made one segment of wall, and that's where it got its name from. And that wall gives you a disgusting amount of line of sight. But yeah.
And we see that the trading post line of sight did catch the raiding Udans from Diarouga, so he was able to take that out, so no problem dealing with the raid there. And meanwhile, he has a nice mass of dragoons around, and actually I think he needs to start mixing in. Oh wait, he ships cannons. Oh, I hope these cannons won't be caught by the war wagons.
Yeah, that would not be too good. But look at if he can like fight in his base with these like clumped up between the stable and the berry bushes and stuff, this could be pretty good. They're going to be very effective against the skirmishes, and obviously if they're clumped up there, those Yolans not going to be able to get anywhere near them, and the war wagons will obviously be the only thing that can deal damage. And obviously if they're attacking the falconer, it resists 75% of range damage, and whilst they're attacking those, obviously every other unit here is doing DPS, and you're losing is going to be quite effective here. But here comes the fight. The storm is coming. He has not got Minutemen for this. The cuirassiers going quite far forward, losing one, not too good. Very passive at the moment, trying to look for an opening. This French player.
Cannons like he's doing now, not move around so much.
They're going up. Oh, I don't know how good that is though, because of course they take a lot of damage from Yolan, but fortunately they're going to go down pretty fast. The cannons still.
Actually, but he did a decent job, but he lost a little bit more HP. If he shoots and then micro the dragoon a little bit to the back, then it will be more effective. The cannons are hopefully aiming at the skirmishes, as you see now. Good micro there by the blue guy, while the dragoons are taking out the war wagons. However, war wagons quite good, of course, will take out the cannons, but will trade a lot of war wagons in the process.
I like the skirmisher micro as well there, actually. Like, he saw the cannon about to shoot, walks back so it resets the animation, does a little spinny dance as it tries to get closer to them.
Yes. Ooh, 5 cuirassiers popping out. Very nice.
Wow, this is really big. Those cuirassiers are going to absolutely wreck these veteran skirmishers. No anti-cavalry at all to stop them here. In terms of military units, they're very even on population right now, but there's no counter here to the cuirassiers. These are going to absolutely tear these apart, and this is looking very, very in favor of the French player now. A very nice catch indeed.
We see though that he's still targeting the dragoons, knowing that he has 9 Ulan on the way, 8 Ulan on the way, and some war wagons. So that is actually very good. Always make the best of your bad situation, and in this case, targeting the dragoons was the right choice.
And 5 skirmishes there as well. They're going to get caught, though. Fortunately, there are some Yolans nearby.
He's overcommitting now. Typical mistake. You just won a battle, you get a little bit overconfident, and now he's going to lose his army in return.
Yeah, they're not too good. Those are going to drop very quickly, those veteran Yolans. And those 3 war wagons aren't going to carry this fight very hard. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely brutal.
Actually, went a little bit different than I thought it would be, but...
yeah, he's actually took out more... yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we just still
I think it's the cavalry upgrade on the... No, that's
he has also... Well, that for sure matters. I missed that. But that for sure matters, because the dragoons and cuirassiers have so much more HP and attack. That will... that might have been a little difference, but... I thought it would be a better battle for Diarouga, to be honest, but... Maybe a little bit of a micro mistake. I'm not sure. Anyway, we see also that now Diarouga, of course, being German, is very dependent on his gold, and he's now gathering here on the left and on the right side, which is of course a very good spot for the French player to raid at some point. Also, he is ahead in the villager population, and then of course, as you did the calculation before, that means he's quite ahead in economy.
Very far ahead.
And still has the 2 trading posts, which now have really, how you say it, have really been worth it.
Yeah, they've paid off, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so we see 2 trading posts, and also he's gathering on the left side where he built a tower, so he's not vulnerable to any raids there. And I'm not sure actually, is this mining line of sight of the tower, do you think?
Oh, that tower is what you're talking about. No, I don't think it is. I think that's just on the periphery.
That would be really unfortunate. But he still has a mine in the back, and he has a mine up front, of course. Ooh, Black Riders now.
He is French, though. He's likely to have seen it. But Black Riders coming out, likely to have seen it because of the native scout. But yes, these things are going to be very, very... they're very big power spike, of course. 1,000 coin it costs to send that shipment. As Germany, you get extra Yolan... extra these instead of Yolan. Are going to come in. Might be able to snipe a Ville. That's how strong they are. Despite the 40% range resist and the Greatcoats upgrade. Certainly going to deny him some gather time.
That is actually a very nice move. It's similar to what I told before. You don't want to engage the Black Rider at this point, so you use your Dragoons and your army to cut off any reinforcements from your opponent, as he's doing now very smartly, and he will have a very, very favorable trade there. While the Black Riders, they do kill one villager on the bottom, but
you can't fit them all in the tower because, of course, or maybe you could have done. There's not that many in there. But Diarouga resigns, not going to go for the 3-0 sweep. Actually, Kalapuikko still in this, proven his worth. Very nice indeed. Was able to weather that insane, of course, 2 settler wagon, 3 settler wagon early economy, and all of the extra free Yolans. Able to weather that 2 cannon shipment that France get, that German does not. Certainly being very influential in his stabilization there, and then got some really nice raids in, pushes back out, and takes the match.
Yeah, a few closing comments here. We see that Kalapuikko shipped his 25% food card at the end.
Yeah.
He was actually already ahead. Might not been that easy for him to notice that, but I would have preferred, for example, a 3 cuirassier shipment and raid the gold mines of the German just to secure your win in that way and don't lose to any, for example, mercenary surprises.
Shenanigans.
Also, well, no, shenanigans. Just a valid strategy, I feel. But also, by the way, he's building his town center on a little bit of an awkward spot. I would have placed it like near the gold mine in the front.
Yeah, it is near hunt, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you can hunt the herd.
Yeah, true, you can have both actually. Go ahead.
You can hunt the herd towards the gold mine still. And also his decision to go for 2 stables is very nice. I'm actually not sure if Diarouga scouted it on time or just after it was actually a little bit too late. But if he of course scouted it on time, he should have not shipped the 9 Ulan, but then just 7 skirmishes, but I think he did not. But anyway, that was a good decision by Kalapuikko. He sit in his base for a bit, waited until his 2 trading post advantage was worth it, and then actually played it out quite nice from there, yes.
Absolutely. That is the end of the game, though. More coming up. Don't go anywhere. Of course, the score is now 2-1 in Diarouga's favour. Kalapuikko bringing it back, not going to let himself go out on the 3-0 sweep. This is a best of 5. Absolutely, don't go anywhere.
Yes, I did it right away.
Yes, now we're going to go quiet for just a moment as we get the next game set up and as I save my recording. But yeah, that doesn't mean you should go anywhere.
I will be here. I will stay here. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Benny. By the way, I think you should turn the shadows on at least on your. I'm looking at your stream. It does look absolutely brilliant, absolutely. But you could, if you go to
shadow quality or shadows on.
You need shade. Hold on, let me.
Shader quality. It is.
You need shader quality on medium and shadow quality on high, and that gives you the minimum settings for having shadows. If you can have it higher than that, then I would recommend doing so. I think personally, since you're streaming, you should have the settings on the highest possible because you know that gives off a good impression to anyone who doesn't play the game and has never seen this before, or perhaps is an AOE2 elitist and is like, oh, AOE3 the graphics aren't even that good, and I'm like, oh, AOE2's way, yeah. But yeah, both games are absolutely brilliant. But I like to show off the graphics anyway. I'm going to shut up about graphics now.
Yeah, I changed it so.
364 viewers though, not too bad at all. How is everyone doing today? Hope you're going to enjoy this. Of course, I'm going to quickly dump in the schedule for today. Very packed indeed. Take a look at that. There is a 1-minute delay, so you're going to have to scroll up quite a long time. The first link is, of course, the schedule. We've got games all day, and of course 2 slots at the end of the Sunday as well, which haven't been filled yet. But we've got all day for people to schedule in those slots. Of course, not every player can be available on the weekend, but a lot of them can be, and it's very nice if they can schedule there, because then we get to cast them to you. And also, for anybody wondering, we also have a live report thread where you can discuss what's going on with people on the our not an official forum, it's just our forum that we're using to host this, of course, event. And if you have any questions, you can certainly ask them there. Or if you want a calmer discussion, or perhaps, I don't know, just there we go. Some nice polls on there as well. Go vote for who you think's going to win. Very interesting indeed. But that would be the second link, the one I was just talking about. 2 links, and you're going to have to scroll quite far up in the chat because of the 1-minute delay. But there is certainly that. All right, next match coming up, though, we do indeed have Pampas Sierras. Looks like the civilizations are being chosen. Kalapuikko going with the Sioux. That was Diarouga who played Sioux previously, wasn't it?
No, I have this fucking guy begging me.
Wow, who's on what service? On Game Ranger? Or?
No, it's on ESO.
All right, there, that happens. Yeah, don't worry. Just don't click on the thing. You okay? I can hear a lot of wind. It's suddenly gotten very windy where you are.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Is this how much it's frustrating you? Are you this enraged? You're like, oh, I want to tear my...
Well, silly child. Actually, he is really a child, it looks by his name. I readied up, just make sure you're ready up so we can go into the game.
Well, I like to ready up. I like to be the last one to ready up because I do my intro. I know the game will guaranteed start as I'm doing my intro, and I like to green up last for that reason. But this matchup here, is Kalapuikko allowed to play Sioux? Hold on, when did he play Sioux?
No, I think Diarouga played Sioux.
Oh, that's ready? Fine then. Okay, I am ready.
Oh, wait a second. He did play Sioux.
Yeah, is Sioux disabled?
Yeah, but we already played 3 games, so we are in the 4th game now, right?
Yeah.
It's reset.
Oh, it is reset, absolutely.
Yes.
Alright, let me load up my recorder, and we will get into this game any second now.
What is this guy doing, really? You have no life, or what is this?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, of course, the Spring Championships for the round of 16. This is game number 4. Game number 4 in this best of 5 series, whoops, between, of course, Kalapuikko. A very nice victory in that previous one. Not going to go out on the 3-0 sweep. He's not going to let that happen. Certainly he's proven his worth in previous games. Knocked Musket Jr. out, of course, of the tournament. Certainly, and then got through the round of 32 as well after knocking Musket out in the round of 64, and is now here he is in the round of 16, playing as the Sioux in the north of the map in the color blue, starting with, of course, 3 food crates, the 1 wood crate. And I'm not quite sure what... well, obviously you can build a market if you so chooses to there. Of course, you don't have to build a house as Sioux because, well, you can't build a house. You don't need to. You start with 200 pop, absolutely. Picking up 40 XP, though. Has a 40 coin treasure in base. Can definitely consider hunting dogs, absolutely. But in the south of the map, here we have, in the color red, playing as Diarouga, the Indians, and I kind of got the words mixed up there, but yeah, everyone knows what I'm talking about, so that should be okay. Collecting lots of wood, as India has to do, get those villagers in queue. No doubt we'll go for, of course, the early market, as they normally, well, as, I don't know, like, well, yeah, they will. Anyway, what do you think, Benny?
Yeah, I was just looking at the left side here, of course, on this map. We haven't seen it that much in the tournament, but it is the 4th map in this BO5, and there are there are goats, llamas actually. Okay, there you go. There are llamas on the left side of this map, and both of them looks like they know the map, and both of them immediately send 1 scout to the left side. However, I feel that with being Sioux, that Kalapuikko could have picked up a little bit more of these llamas. But he's going to catch 2 of the llamas that were returning back from the Indian player. But he missed the 2 on the top there. And I feel that if you know this map, you should always make, like what I'm doing on my screen now, this kind of zigzag move to catch everything there. Especially being Sioux with your fast hero, you should be able to take out most llamas.
Yeah, and you can certainly do that so fast, that Explorer. Yeah.
In the center there, we have a converted guardian being attacked by the heroes from India. And maybe he's going to go for this treasure, which is of course a very nice one, a native scout, which can be put in stealth mode.
True.
But there's a little fight for llamas here.
Ooh, deleting one, knows he can't perhaps get it back and just isn't going to...
Oh, I actually don't like it. I would have escorted it back home.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you have the time to, so perhaps why not? But that's true. Perhaps though he's more interested in gathering treasures or something, and doesn't want to, delay because that llama moves so slowly. It then make your very mobile scout less mobile.
Might be the case indeed. We see now that on the right side 90 foot is going to be picked up by Sioux, and the Indian guy goes for 70 foot before the native scout. I think that's a good decision just to make sure that you can have your age up as fast as possible.
Yep.
And then you can still go for a native scout afterwards.
Yeah, very nice indeed. The native scout, though, going to be tough because they both know it's there. They've both got line of sight to it, and if India goes for that, going to take out those 2 wolves. And Sioux with his very fast moving explorer could run over there and grab it. Of course, India has no idea where that is, and actually doesn't want to go for it just yet. But having said that, you can kill those 2 wolves very quickly. You can now see this scout in his base, so he could go for that. But picking up the unguarded 40 XP, unfortunately, India did not grab his XP treasure.
Must have been a mistake there, I think, or it is a bug. Sometimes it happens as well.
Yeah, an accident, killing the Guardians and forgetting to pick it up. But he's going to see the treasure history and being like, oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, kind of slapping himself in the face. But we see that on top there, the Indian guy finds 2 sheeps. And that is also very nice, of course, because the sheeps will help him get more XP.
Oh, where are they going? They're going to continue scouting with they'll follow the sheep. Yeah, sheep is a really good treasure for India because of course. Oh no, they're heading towards his own base. What am I talking about? I thought for a moment he was going to send them in the direction of the Sioux player. That's not correct. Yes, they're going in the right direction actually. These 2 sheep, so that's fine. But yeah, for India, 2 sheep really good. It's an XP trickle. It's like for normal civs, you'll just walk past that treasure and be like, nope, 2 sheep, not that good. But India really quite likes that one.
Yeah, and he puts down the aggro fort, so I think he's not going to go for a full aggressive style because he kept making villagers, and he also, of course, has the house.
Yeah.
Just going for some map control and probably with a strong separate push. I think it's actually I never played this matchup, or I think I haven't seen it before either. But I would say that it's going to play out similar to what I suggested before. The Sioux guy is probably gonna try to raid a little bit here and there, pick off units everywhere, and the Indian guy just has to sit in his base and probably mass a big army of sepoys.
Yeah, you like this placement though. It does seem very far forward considering his opponent is playing as the Sioux, and of course Sioux, that very distinctive play style. They lay down the corral or / stable, whatever you want to call it, make some bow riders, run around, try to raid you, and all you have to do is hold out until that sort of 16-minute mark and avoid some of the timings that Sioux can do when they age up, and you just got to think about all of that kind of thing. And that. But this seems far forward. It seems like it's not hugely going to protect his base, but then I guess there are hunts nearby. Well, you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to do because the Sioux guy aged up again very fast, so he might be going for the same thing, 5 bow rider and then 4 X rider to raid the Indian guy. And if he's going to raid the Indian guy near the town center, of course there won't be many sepoys to produce because he has no resources.
Oh, there they are, 4 Axe Riders coming out so quick. First shipment, and obviously as the Sioux, you just you have that age up fast with the messenger. You get this out. 4 Axe Riders, as I said in the previous game, absolutely insane. 4 cavalry that cost 200 resources each. Can he kill this before the thing is built?
No,
oh my goodness.
I don't think he can. Well, actually...
He might. It's 90%. He's still got 5% to go. Gonna go down. Fortunately, though, this does build itself very slowly. He's still gonna age, but losing a villager where he could have, if he'd been slightly faster, perhaps 2 villagers up here, he could have garrisoned both and not lost any. Yeah.
To be honest, I would have probably gone back right away, killed the elephants and get 90 more XP.
Yeah.
But it's good that he got them in the first place, and also the villager, of course, and now gonna delay some more of his resource gathering here.
Yeah.
Buying himself more time to...
Oh, gets a second villager. Very nicely done.
Also, by the way, quick mention there that the Sioux guy found 2 or 3 more treasures on the right side. I believe 90 coin, 70 wood, 80 wood,
yeah,
and XP. So that's very nice as well.
Very good. But oh my goodness, these axe riders and bow riders, very, very good indeed. Oh, the 2 sepoy that he got for free. Oh, what a that was pretty sick. You see that, yeah, it goes into hand combat to deal with the axe riders. But then, whilst they're not walking towards the axe riders as he retreats, the bow riders is able to defend that. But this is
a little bit of a mistake there because one Sioux rider was targeting a house, one was targeting a town center, and one was targeting a villager, and he lost 2 in the process by not doing that much damage.
Losing some bow riders not too good, but ultimately in a reasonable spot. Of course, the early 5 bow riders, the 4 axe rider shipment just is such a pain. It just forces all of these villages, because it comes out so quickly, into the town center. And this, of course, Agrafort is the only production facility he has. All of the military is going to have to walk a long way to defend his villages gathering. But fortunately, due to the 5 sepoy and has trained a few, is able to kind of defend against the raids. Now these aren't going to be such a problem.
Yeah, and unlike the previous game where we saw the French guy massing musketeers, like you say, the base where the musketeers come from is not near a town center. And actually, the Sioux guy shipped his 2 dog soldiers again, and actually he can take this fight. There are just 8 sepoy there. He has a hero, 2 dog soldiers, few bow riders.
Yeah.
I really would like him to pressure again and make sure that he gets rid of the sepoy before they really get into a big mess.
Yeah, obviously the more there are, if you can take it. Dog soldiers, such a power spike. Those things, 550 hit points, 28 damage times 1.5 against infantry. You need those to be dealing the damage to infantry. Those things are really strong here. He could take that. He doesn't know about these 5 in the back yet, but fortunately, sentry's coming out, isn't going to want to hang around there. Does get caught though. Nicely done by Diarouga.
Smartly runs away as he should, because there's also a few more sepoy joining the battle there. And of course you don't want to fight madman if you don't have to.
No, but these sepoys, the sentry's doing a very good job of actually dealing damage and just stopping him from getting away here. Perhaps you split off the ones being attacked so that the group can move faster. Of course, that snaring effect in AOE3 where they will slow down. There you go, moving a bit faster.
I think that Diarouga also correctly microed his sentries just to make sure that they were attacking different targets to slow down the whole group.
Yeah.
Interesting to see that his 2 elephants are still kind of idle near his aggro fort and not being used in any battle, because they would tank up a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, 375 HP, pretty good then.
And I feel that the Sioux guy is going back a little bit too much. The Minutemen are soon going to be on 0 HP again, and yeah, either he has to make something happen soon or he has to age up. We have to see what his next shipment is going to be. This time it wasn't 700 gold, he sent 2 dog soldiers before. And next shipment is going to be 4 villagers.
4 villagers, okay. Like, how much damage has he actually done? Does he think perhaps, oh, I've killed so many villagers that I can just play the economic focus and send 4 villagers myself? That seems interesting, considering it's the Sioux, but
yeah,
I feel like more military. Or
it might indeed be his train of thoughts, but the thing is that the Indian guy has 5 villages less, but soon he will have the Ottoman consulate, the export, and also, of course, he has the trickle. One trickle for now. 300 export is on the way, so soon a few more villages. The thing is that he did damage in 2 ways. He killed a few villages of the Indian player, which is of course permanent damage, but he also delayed a lot of gathering, because he made sure that the villagers had to hide in the town center.
Yeah, but coming in around the back, perhaps going to force them back into that town center, as you mentioned, delay even more gather time. Certainly put himself quite far ahead here. Yep, more villages he has killed a few, delaying the gather time, putting him these early, getting himself a bit further ahead here. But yeah, that army is looking pretty convincing from Diarouga.
Yeah, this is not something the Sioux guy can take, and that's actually a problem. Now he's even mixing in Gurkhas, because he has a decent number of sepoys at this point. Now
it's going to be very tough. Gurkha's very hard counter to bow riders with their ×2 damage multiplier, and it has all of the sepoys you'll need to defend them against the hand cavalry, such as the dog soldiers and the axe riders.
Yeah, the Sioux guy is now in a very awkward spot. Diarouga knows that he was in the back. He had, of course, line of sight. Now he knows that he's at his town center, and that just means go time for him, and he's going to push out onto the Sioux base, and there's actually not much the Sioux can do there.
Yeah.
He has to return home very fast, but his army is not... This is why I don't like 4 villagers. His army is not as it should be. 4 villagers will take some time to pay off. With 700 coin you can mass bow riders fast, or you can age up. Oh, he's trying to age up. Look at his resources. He's now aging up.
Oh, what this?
So
yeah, Sioux going up.
If he can buy some more time, he's okay, but it will be very close. Again, there's quite a big time window here for the Indian guy to do damage.
This is, a very big... Like, look at that. He's aging up just as his opponent pushes in. Obviously, 2,200 resources being spent on aging up, and that bonus is not going to come to be of any use to him for a while. And there's so many units here. Obviously, if he'd spent those resources on units, he'd be in a stronger spot. This is looking tough. Gonna lose that corral, no problem at all.
Yeah, what I really like here is that he put some villages around 10 or so in the town center to get that 90 damage, but he also moved the other villages straight away, kind of expecting a base trade thing again, perhaps. Just making sure that not every villager is around the town center.
Oh, well, yeah, of course, you only want 10 in there. Any more than 10 in there, there's no point, because it has 90 damage. Getting even more out, still has the 10 damage there, of course. Put 10 in there, all of the others back to work, but I think Red has noticed it. Ooh.
I actually wonder, how did he notice? He must be guessing there. Well, of course, he sees a dead animal, so he might...
And you can click on them.
Yes.
And see if the food's going down quickly.
One more villager, that's going to be a second. Yes, so he lost like 3 or 4 villages now. The villager count is now in favor of Diarouga, which of course also did the Ottoman consulate villager thing.
Yeah.
We see some villages on this side, so he's gathering quite safe there, but he is going to lose 2 on top there.
That's not good. He doesn't want this, especially since he's aging.
Yeah, but all the time this town center is dealing 90 damage, and he will have the tech advantage, and the Indian guy won't be aging up anytime soon. So I think he's still in an okay-ish position, especially if he's going to get out rifle riders.
Yeah,
which of course is very good for his sepoy.
Alright, I'll give you that, definitely. He has a shipment available as well, can certainly spend that, and he's going to get a small bonus for aging up as well. There's something going to be on some crates, so I'm not quite sure what he's aging with. We'll see in just a moment when he hits up what he does indeed get, but looks okay, he's still alive. He has some wood.
Yeah, of course he has to rebuild his stable. Maybe he anticipated losing his stable, and that's why he aged up with the wood, not sure. He sent his shipment, so there should be, I have to assume that rifle riders are on the way. Maybe 9 Makina actually.
Yeah, that would be pretty good against all those centuries. Sepoys. But so would rifle riders, honestly. But those things are a bit weaker, of course, to Gurkhas. And yeah, I think Wakina might be better here. I mean, certainly the rifle riders are very strong against Sepoy, and against cavalry. But there aren't any cavalry here, so Wakina's independently better against Sepoy and not quite so vulnerable.
Well, he of course has to make his stable, so he can still make rifle riders himself and then just rely on Makina shipments. He's not going to make a warrior anytime soon, I think. Okay, he does choose to go for 2, 4, 5 rifle riders.
5 rifle riders, yeah.
But of course, as an anticipation move to all this goon stuff, Diarouga is making more Gurkhas. And he also changed to the British consulate, of course, to get more HP on his units. Ooh, losing... No, not losing 1 villager there.
10% land HP, these things going to be tanking a bit better. But yeah, I guess like also the rifle riders are better in the sense that they allow you to remain mobile because they're cavalry.
Yeah, that's a very good point as well. But he's not really using his mobility so far. He's just kind of idle on the sides, not trying to pick up any reinforcements like I suggested before. That's the kind of thing that makes Sioux a hard civ to deal with. He's very fast, very mobile, very strong units. You can often pick up reinforcements very easily. He's 90% on the way to his next shipment, but he will have to make something happen here.
Yeah, gonna come in by the looks of it. But yes, you see these 5 sepoy here, well 10 now actually, there were 5 earlier, but could have been like over here cutting them off and dealing with them whilst they're separate from the army, as you were saying. The very mobile civ can make use of that. But what is he waiting for? He has just sent a shipment. It is on the way, but he's only just sent it.
He has to go now, he has to buy time for the shipment. It must be 9 wickets.
Yeah, villagers coming out. You're right, he's gonna take it now. He knows he has to. The villagers coming out, those things gonna sponge up some damage, 150 HP. Red gonna have to be careful to target the military units, and the rifle riders, which do so much damage, times 3 multipliers against pretty much everything here. Looking pretty okay, actually, doing a lot of damage. Oh, Redcoat's coming out though, from the British though. Actually, oh, this is not good. Ow. I thought it was going a lot better for blue than it was, but it's probably because there are a lot of villages, but that was...
Yeah, the problem is that the Indian guy has so many units, he just had the army advantage, and also the musketeers were brought in, he did the British consulate, and the sepoy of course already are very strong, but now...
Yeah, there's the shipment though, 3 dog soldiers coming out, like he definitely would have preferred to wait for those before the fight started, but obviously it's impossible to do so if your town center's going to go down. Oh no!
I like the 3 dog soldiers here, but there's so many sepoys. I think I would have preferred 9 Makina rifles and try to guide them a little bit, but even that would be hard.
Yeah, perhaps he just felt I need something to deal with the Gurkhas because I've got rifle riders. Maybe that's what he was thinking, but I think you're right. Looking tough, and behind this, Diarouga has 44 villagers plus 2 wood trickles. And this is looking pretty strong for India. Even if he doesn't win this fight, like he could just lose this fight the most horrific way possible and still be in a commanding lead. And that's not even the case. He's winning this fight very, very well. I think we'll see the resign any moment now from him. But that was certainly an interesting game.
Yeah, it's again for the Sioux, sitting in your base, defending, massing a lot of musketeers, then mixing in some Gurkha stuff kind of unit is obviously the best way to go.
Red not too happy about the Sioux design there. Certainly an interesting civilization. Has a distinctive playstyle that either works or it does not. And that is a direct quote that I have said many times. Some matchups that Sioux are very good in, others there are very bad in. A very interesting civ.
I felt that he could have used the Sioux mobility a little bit more actually in both games. Something he probably has to work on a little bit. And also, if you look at the shipments, I can't switch again, but he did ship 4 villagers. And like I said, the 4 villager thing is something that you need time for it to pay off. And versus India, which is actually quite a strong civilization as well, if not one of the best, you don't have that time. So I would have preferred 700 coin to age up faster.
Yeah.
If you see now at this game, the reason that he loses this game, or well, one of the reasons, is because he had to fight before his shipment arrived. Imagine if he was fighting together with 3 dog soldiers or 9 Makinas or whatever.
700 coin would have been so much better there. Absolutely, yes. Been up faster, be able to send that sooner, be able to mass more of those units which are like counters harder. Really good, yeah.
He would have been able to use his shipments a little bit earlier, and I think that would have been a better choice than sending 4 villages at this point.
I think so too, because you saw the pressure arrive just as he was aging up. 700 coin, you'd be up a bit faster and be able to respond to that incoming. Maybe wouldn't even have lost the corral either. Wouldn't even have had to have built that. Very interesting. But any concluding comments before I end my recording?
No, that's it. So congratulations to Diarouga then, 3-1.
Absolutely, Diarouga through to the round of 8. And into the semi-finals, of course. Or is it the quarterfinal? I never know the difference between those two. It's certainly the round of 8. But
round of 8 is quarterfinals.
Yeah, stay tuned, everybody. More coming up.